is such a grand mosque closed at night? Is it because some spiritual or luminous beings visit the mosque at night? Or is there another reason? Let's find out. First of all, let us answer this question. When the Kaba remains open 24/7, then why is Masjid Nabawi closed at night? Regarding this, we have two types of answers, and today we will try to convey both of them to you. So be sure to watch this video till the end. The first answer is in the form of an incident that took place around 20 years ago. Once, many prominent scholars were sitting in the courtyard of the Kaaba in Makkah, engaged in discussion. Suddenly, an Arab man appeared before them and addressed them, asking, "O scholars, do you know why the Kaaba remains open day and night, while Masjid Nabawi is closed at night, and no one is allowed to stay in it?" He demanded an answer supported only by the Quran. It is said that upon hearing this question, all the scholars fell silent in deep thought, until one scholar stood up and immediately began reciting Ayat al-Kursi, and then said, "There is no deity except Allah. He is alive and everlasting. He sustains the entire universe. He neither slumbers nor sleeps. That is why the Kaaba remains open day and night. And in Masjid al-Nabawi rests our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Since sleep is necessary for humans, and because the Prophet was human, rest is required, so the mosque is closed at night. However, Allah is free from sleep and slumber, so the Kaaba, being the sacred house of Allah, remains open 24 hours a day. So, friends, this was the first answer to why Masjid al-Nabawi is closed at night. Now we tell you the actual reason it used to be closed at night. Actually, before the reign of the late King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia, it was a routine that the cleaning of the mosque and maintenance of the Prophet's chamber was handled exclusively by African eunuchs, who were referred to as Aga. Aga is a Turkish word meaning a respectable elder or head. During the Ottoman Caliphate, the servants of Masjid al-Nabawi were called Agas, and this term is still used in Arabic today. History tells us that these Agas used to sit on an elevated platform in Roman-style clothing, and among them were 10 to 12 African eunuchs. They moved about Masjid al-Nabawi with great authority. Attached to this platform was a room still present today, which had small wooden doors that had to be ducked through, seemingly made only for them, as the key was always hanging from the head eunuch's waist. They were responsible for cleaning the mosque, and also had the honor of cleaning inside the Prophet's chamber. If a child ever dirtied the carpet or floor, they were immediately informed. They would get up silently, without showing any displeasure, take their cleaning tools, recite the kalima, clean the area, and return without any complaint or anger. So friends, before the time of King Abdullah, it was a common routine that about an hour or an hour and a half after the Isha prayer, these eunuchs would start clearing the people out of the mosque. They were also the only ones allowed to enter the women's section, so they would ask both men and women to leave and begin cleaning. One by one, all the mosque doors would be closed, and finally, the last door would also be shut, leaving the mosque completely empty. Until the Fajr, Tahajjud, call to prayer, only these Agas remained inside the mosque. So, friends, this was the actual reason why, until a few years ago, Masjid al-Nabawi was closed at night and empty. And then only those 5 to 7 Agas were allowed to stay inside during the night. While some people claim that various luminous and spiritual beings visit Masjid al-Nabawi at night, and that is why the mosque used to be emptied at night. But let us tell you that there is no truth in this claim. The real reason for emptying the mosque was exactly what we mentioned. Friends, now let us tell you whether this practice still continues, meaning, is Masjid al-Nabawi still emptied at night? Is it still closed at night, So let us tell you that during the reign of King Abdullah, it was ordered that Masjid al-Nabawi will no longer be closed at night, and that even during nighttime, visitors will be allowed entry. And so, for the past 10 years, Bab al-Salam and Bab al-Baqi, where the Prophet's resting place is located, have remained open 24 hours, while other parts of the mosque are closed at night for cleaning. Friends, now let's talk about the man who was an engineer by profession and designed the two most sacred mosques for Muslims, namely Masjid al-Nabawi and Masjid al-Haram. His name was Muhammad Kamal Ismail. The engineer who built Masjid al-Nabawi, Muhammad Kamal Ismail, saw something during the construction that astonished everyone. How were Masjid al-Haram and Masjid al-Nabawi redesigned? And what miracle occurred during that time? To find out, watch the full video. First, let us get to know a little about Dr. Muhammad Kamal Ismail, the man who designed the beautiful architecture of Masjid al-Haram and Masjid al-Nabawi. Friends, Muhammad Kamal was from Egypt and preferred to stay away from the spotlight, which is why not many people knew about him. Dr. Muhammad Kamal Ismail was the youngest person in Egyptian history to earn a high school degree. He was born in 1908 and passed away in 2008. He was also the youngest person ever to be admitted to Egypt's first Royal School of Engineering and to graduate from there. He was the youngest man sent to Europe to earn 3 doctorate degrees. He was the first engineer to sign a contract for designing and constructing the Haramain. Despite efforts by King Fahd and the Bin Laden Company, he refused to take even a single penny for his engineering designs and architectural supervision. When Dr. Muhammad Kamal Ismail returned checks worth millions, he told the Bin Laden Company, "Why should I take money for working on the 2 holy mosques? If I do so, what will I say to Allah on the day of judgment?" That is why he didn't take a single penny for his work. Friends, just look at the cost of Masjid al-Haram's construction. It exceeded $100 billion. Imagine how much money he could have earned. But his faith stopped him, and he refused to take anything. He got married at the age of 44, had a son, but lost his wife shortly after. He lived alone thereafter and spent the rest of his life worshiping Allah. He lived to be 100 years old. Throughout those 100 years, he stayed away from media, newspapers, and headlines, dedicating his life in anonymity to the service of the 2 sacred mosques. Why did Allah choose Muhammad Kamal Ismail alone to rebuild both of these mosques a second time? Because there were certain reasons for which Allah chose him for this blessed task. There's a fascinating and famous story about the marble used in the Haramain. Hearing it will revive your faith. This marble, used in the Haramain, is a rare type that was found only on a small mountain in Greece. Its specialty is that it keeps the floor cool even during the hottest weather. Dr. Kamal traveled to Greece and signed a contract to purchase nearly half the mountain for the Haramain. After signing the contract, he returned to Makkah, and the white marble was brought in and installed in Masjid al-Haram. When the construction was completed, the Saudi king requested that the same marble be used in Masjid al-Nabawi, but by then, 15 years had passed. The king wanted the exact same marble that had been bought from Greece 15 years ago. Dr. Kamal was now worried because that marble existed only in one place, Greece, and he had already purchased half of that mountain. Dr. Kamal says that he went to the CEO of the same company, asked about the remaining marble, and the CEO told him that all of it had been sold right after his departure. And now, 15 years had passed. Hearing this, Kamal became extremely worried and left the meeting. He met the office secretary and requested, "Please find out who purchased the remaining marble." The secretary said it would be difficult to track such old records, but asked for his phone number and hotel address, promising to try. Dr. Kamal gave his contact details and returned to his hotel. As he left the marble company's office, he thought to himself, no matter who bought it, Allah will make a way, insha'Allah. The next day, before going to the airport, he received a phone call. We have found the buyer of the marble. Dr. Kamal was very happy, but also worried whether, after such a long time, he would even be able to meet the buyer. He went back to the office, where the secretary gave him the address of the company that had purchased the marble. When Dr. Kamal saw the address, his heart skipped a beat. He took a deep breath, because the company that had bought the marble was a Saudi company. Dr. Kamal took a flight to Saudi Arabia the same day and went straight to the marble company, met the owner, and asked, "What did you do with the marble you bought from Greece?" The owner replied, "I don't remember." He called the store department and asked about the white marble imported from Greece. The store staff replied that all the marble was still there and had never been used. Hearing this, Dr. Muhammad Kamal Ismail began to cry like a child and told the owner the entire story. Dr. Kamal handed him a blank check and said, "Write any amount you want and hand over the marble to me." When the owner learned that the marble was going to be used in the beloved Prophet Muhammad Mustafa's, peace be upon him, mosque, Masjid Nabawi, he said, "I won't take a single penny. Allah had me buy this marble and then made me forget about it so that it would be used in Masjid Nabawi. This is the same Masjid Nabawi whose construction was started by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, himself with his blessed hands. This is the place where his camel stopped. Each brick was laid by the rightly guided caliphs, Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq and Hazrat Umar. How fortunate are those whom Allah chose for the construction of his two holy sites, where Muslims from every land, every region, and every background come together. May Allah bless Muhammad Kamal Ismail with the highest place in Jannah. Ameen. Dear friends, after the Hijrah,